Months pass, and even as new tips come and go, detectives keep circling Robert Cox's name. At this point, he's still only a person of interest. But there's a feeling inside the squad room that's hard to shake. If anyone in Springfield knows what happened on Delmar Street, it's probably him. Then a development changes everything. A grand jury convenes in Missouri. Investigators review every statement, every timeline, every alibi that was once considered rock solid. That includes Cox's. Back in '92, he tells detectives that he was at church the morning that Cheryl, Susie, and Stacy disappear. At the time, his girlfriend backs him up, but when she's called to testify, years later and under oath, she admits that she lied. She says that Cox asked her to say that he was at church when he wasn't. The entire foundation of his alibi, the reason he fell down the suspect list in the first place, is suddenly gone. Detectives head down to Texas. Cox is down there serving time for an unrelated armed robbery. They sit with him in a prison interview room and go over everything again. His work history, his movements in Springfield, the lies about church, the similarities between the Florida case and this one, the fact that he worked all over South Springfield as a utility locator, the fact that he keeps talking about the women as if he knows their fate. They push, they wait, they hope he cracks. He doesn't. Cox smiles and says just enough to suggest that he knows something, but he never says enough to be charged. He tells detectives, "I know they're dead." But when they ask where the women are, he shuts down. When he starts writing letters to a Springfield newspaper from prison, he plays the same game with them, too. He hints that he knows more. He claims that he could tell the story if he wanted to, but he won't. He says he doesn't want the death penalty again. So, police weigh everything here. His history, his behavior, the collapsed alibi, the way he smirks when he talks about the case. For many in Springfield, that's enough to believe that he's responsible. But for the legal system, it's not enough to indict. Again, there are no remains, no forensic evidence, no witnesses who see him with the women, and there's nothing that he says in his jailhouse interviews and letters to newspapers that could support a conviction in court. So the case returns to a standstill. Robert Cox may be the strongest person of interest Springfield will ever have in this case, but without something concrete, detectives can't prove it. And the search for answers is about to shift into its final and most frustrating phase.